when I don't need friends is actually I'm terrified of being hurt again. I don't need friends. I prefer being alone. People are exhausting. What if you've been saying that for years, but it's not true? What if I don't need anyone is actually I'm terrified of being hurt again, so I'll hurt myself first by staying isolated. Today, we're removing the armour, and it's going to be uncomfortable. Let's talk about what's really happening. Having no friends isn't always a choice. Sometimes is a trauma response. Somewhere in your past, someone you trusted betrayed you. Love came with conditions. Vulnerability was punished. Connection meant danger. So your nervous system made a rule. Don't let anyone close. Close equals hurt. Now, as an adult, every time someone tries to get close, your body tenses. Your mind finds flaws in them. You create distance before they can reject you. You leave before they can leave you, and you frame it as, I'm selective. I have high standards. I'm independent. But here's what's actually happening. You don't have high standards. You have high walls, and those walls were built by a younger you who needed protection. But now, they're a prison. Let's name what this is. This is called avoidant attachment, and it's one of the most misunderstood trauma responses. It develops when caregivers were inconsistent or emotionally unavailable. You learned to rely only on yourself. Expressing needs led to rejection or punishment. Independence was the only safe option. Now you feel suffocated when someone gets too close. Deactivate emotionally when intimacy builds. Find reasons why every person isn't good enough. Ghost people before they can disappoint you. And here's the cruel part. You desperately want connection, but your nervous system is screaming, danger, so you sabotage it every time. You tell yourself you're protecting your peace, but you're actually protecting your wounds. At the root of all this is one belief. If they really knew me, they'd leave. So you leave first. So how do you know if you're actually okay alone, or just scared? Here's the brutal honesty test. Ask yourself, if I knew for certain they wouldn't hurt me, would I let them in? If the answer is yes, you're not choosing solitude, you're choosing safety. Do I feel peaceful alone, or just safer than I feel vulnerable? If it's the latter, you're not thriving, you're surviving. Signs you're isolating from fear, not preference. You want connection but sabotage it. You feel lonely but call it independence. You test people until they fail. You've been almost close to people but always pull back. Deep down, you're terrified of being abandoned. If you see yourself here, this isn't your fault, but it is your responsibility to heal. So what do you do now? First, stop pretending you're fine. The bravest thing you can do is admit, I'm lonely, I'm scared, I want connection, but I don't know how to let people in anymore. That's not weakness, that's the beginning of healing. Learn about avoidant attachment. Books like Attached by Amir Levine will make you feel seen. You'll realise you're not broken, you're wounded, and wounds can heal. You don't need to find your best friend tomorrow. Start with one honest conversation this week, sharing something real with someone safe, staying when your instinct says run. If you have trauma around connection, you can't heal alone what was wounded in relationship. Consider attachment-focused therapy, EMDR, for trauma support groups for avoidant attachment. You deserve to be known, and there are people who are safe. Here's the truth you need to hear. I don't need friends is the loneliest lie you tell yourself. Because humans are wired for connection. You're not above that need, you're just afraid of it. And I get it. You were hurt badly, maybe repeatedly. But staying isolated to avoid pain isn't living. It's just not dying. You deserve more than survival. If this hit you, comment, I'm ready to heal. That's step one. And if you want support on this journey, subscribe.